Isn't it time to stop reliving your past hurts and move on to a bright and hopeful future?
I have a right to be upset, but I don't have a right to be wounded for the rest of my life. So I choose to be healed.
Get rid of the bitter poison that unforgiveness administers to the soul with Bishop David G. Evans. Forgive again, live again.
It's a liberating experience and being able to forgive someone and forgiving yourself. It's liberating.
Forgiveness will deliver me in 3 dimensions. From what happened, from who it happened with, from when it happened. Because sometimes you'll get free from the what, but the who will still have you bound.
This highly sought-after 4-part message of healing can be yours on CD or DVD. Act now, and we'll include Bishop's book, Healed Without Scars, with your order absolutely free. All yours when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today.
Allow God's living waters to wash over you and refresh your soul.
You've been praying for yourself when the answer is in praying for other people. While I'm praying for California, God shows up in my house.
As kingdom people, with the king in us and us being sovereign ground, we're not governed by the laws of this land, but we're governed by the laws of heaven.
He's talking about you. Gonna draw water from the wells of salvation. Where's the well? In you.
If we want to release the water, watch this, we don't have to pray for it to come. Where we are now, we pray for it to be released.
Release deliverance and transformation in every area of your life through God's living waters. This revitalizing 3-message series can be yours on CD or DVD when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today. Let Bishop David G.
It's now easier than ever to stay connected with David G. Evans and the Bethany Baptist Church family. Follow the ministry and rejoice in all that God is doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. On Facebook, you'll be up to date on the latest happenings, and you can watch our Sunday services on Facebook Live, 8 and 11 a.m. Eastern.
Here comes the power.
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in the whole United States of America. I'm Bishop David G. Evans, your host, and joining me once again, our world-famous co-host, Reverend Nicholas A. Smith. Welcome to the On Point program. You can reach us today, 1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267, 1-866-74-EVANS. Give us a call at any time during this program as we discuss those things that are kingdom-based, but principles and interests that vary with those interests around the world. Whatever's going on that's significant, that will impact your life, we try to address it, but always from a kingdom biblical context so that we keep God in the discussion every step of the way. What a wonderful opportunity we have today to have a discussion with you. So give us a call, no matter around the world, toll-free, 1-866-743-8267. I want to encourage those of you that are listening to us, watching and listening, some of you, depending on the context in which you are picking up the program today. Some of you could be working, sneaking or listen every now and then. Some of you could be wherever you are, watching us live all around the world. We want you to Facebook us today. It's David G. Evans 1.
Yes, sir.
David G. Evans 1. And give us your comments today and your questions as Pastor Nick is monitoring our Facebook feed. We want you to join us there and say what you need to say, comment on it. Also, wherever you are, whatever part of the world you're in, United States or outside the United States, we need you to contact us this morning and let us know. Just hit us up on Facebook and let us know where you are, where you're calling, where you're listening and viewing from. Also, if you're, we haven't heard from our Paris group in a while. We haven't heard from our upstate New York business group for a while. We haven't heard from our Bahamian Island, but that's going to be tough. We are presently working on, I'm segueing very quickly, we're presently working on a viable outlet to send resources to the islands. And remarkably, a couple pastors from around the country have called me and said they want to combine with our effort to get some stuff done. So we are, we're excited about that, and we're also hopefully going to leverage some relationships that we have to see if we can get some significant money sent as part of the relief effort. Since our president has decided that no one who has no place to live is welcome in our country. I'm kind of, you know, it's really weird. I understand my president's parents and grandparents were immigrants. It's obvious that his wife is an immigrant. Her people, which became legal since he got in office, very speedy process.
Very speedy.
Of immigration for them. But I'm not too upset about that, because if I'm president,
go and do some stuff.
then folk in my family ought to have a little bit of advantage. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, Grandpapa's is the president of the United States. I'm supposed to be able to call and get some stuff done.
Yeah, we would all do the same thing.
So, I'm not mad about that family advantage.
No.
But the family advantage should not be at the cost
Yeah.
of liberty for other people.
Absolutely.
If it's good for your family, it should be good for other folk.
Yeah.
So we want you to let us know where you're listening from, watching us from. Do that as soon as you can. We're trying to get a real handle on where our audience lies. So wherever you are in the United States, if you're watching us, listening to us, hit us up at David G. Evans 1 on Facebook and let us know where you are. We would love to know what part of the country our listeners, our viewers are located. Sunday's coming tomorrow. We're having a great time. We're going to be in Wilmington, Delaware tomorrow night.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yep.
Victorious Praise, Pastor Lucette Smith, and her husband, my good friend Dennis, oversee that ministry in Delaware. We'll be there at 5 o'clock, that's what I understand.
5 o'clock, right? Yes, 5 o'clock.
We'll be there at 5 o'clock tomorrow. We're excited about the possibilities. I'm really excited about the meeting the pastors had at Pastor School on Monday. As we once again collectively came together. God led us together as far as what next year's emphasis ought to be, what the New Year's theme ought to be, what we should be touching on in addition to the personal needs of all the ministries, what we should be touching on as a body, to try to be as close as we can to God's perfect will and not what he permits.
Yes, sir.
So we're looking forward to those themes, and we look at how God participated this year, and with the open door thing, and really did some stuff for us. And we're, you know, it's good to feel as though you've heard God, not just for your church, but for the body of Christ.
Absolutely.
You know, so tell me what do you think is hot and heavy? Wait a minute, I get off the plane.
Excuse me.
Wednesday night we were in Atlantic City, Bishop John Howard's New Hope Church. We had a wonderful time in Atlantic City, and get home, get up early, fly out, get off the plane, get to the hotel, and all I'm hearing is whistle blowing. And
I was reading a little bit about that last night.
Okay.
I didn't put it on there. I wasn't sure. I wasn't not too familiar with all of it. So it's still like it's a speculation out there that there are some reports that Trump was talking to the Ukraine leader to get information on Biden or something.
Offered him a bribe.
Yeah, offered him a bribe to do that.
You know, we can call it what we want.
Yeah, you know.
He calls negotiation. Right. It was a bribe.
And Giuliani was supposed to go over, and then, you know, he.
Did you see his interview?
No, I didn't watch it. I don't.
No, it wasn't a flip flop.
It's hard for me to listen to them.
That you're being too nice. It wasn't a flip flop. It was something. It wasn't a misspoke. It wasn't a misstatement. I don't know why they keep putting all these fancy titles on.
You're lying.
You're lying. But he got asked a question.
Yeah.
He said, "No, I'm not." Then he came back and said, "Oh, yes, I did."
Yeah.
And then he said, "I didn't say that."
It's there. On the same interview.
In the same interview.
The same 5 minutes.
5 minutes was too long. I was like,
It was the most.
Yeah.
And this guy is representing you legally.
Yeah. What the dilemma the Democrats are going to have is without significant proof.
Yeah.
If they mess with this, and just like with the whole Mueller thing, if it doesn't go the way they want it to go, it's going to give more fuel to Trump saying, "Look at what they're trying to do to me," which is going to fuel his base.
But the problem I'm having is this. To me, they're trying harder to silence this whistleblower than they did with the whole investigation on the Mueller. Because I don't believe the investigation was going along without the White House getting updates on how it was going.
Oh yeah.
So there's no way that was going on and they weren't getting updates.
Because the top agent in whatever department has the information did not give the information to Congress.
Okay.
Which I think they're supposed to share this information, and they're not doing it.
Now there was some damage and stuff, but I think underneath all of this are the tax returns. I think that's what he does not want, and I don't think it's because of what we think it is. I think he doesn't want people to know that he doesn't have nearly as much money as he purports to have, and that he is burdened down with debt, which is kind of obvious. I've been a banker. I've been watching this whole thing, from a distance. He makes his money with debt, but it's out of control. Now people forget he's already been bankrupt, 3 or 4 times already. So it's I think the financial thing, which is directly connected to his ego, directly connected to his self-esteem, directly connected to the smoke and mirrors of image that he portrays. I think he does not want that information public, but it looks like they're not going to be able to hide it any further.
Because he's trying to sue New York State, so the
but that ain't gonna work.
Coming out.
That ain't gonna work. Let me check. That Southern District, they put mafia people in jail.
I know. He's trying to.
That's if it was Southern Pennsylvania, he might have a shot. But not Southern New York.
Okay.
No.
But I still think they're using the presidency to get out of debt.
Absolutely.
Because when Pence went to Ireland, they made him stay at a hotel 2 hours away from where he was supposed to be. To stay at a Trump hotel.
Ridiculous.
So I'm like, come on, man.
But that also tells me there's a cash flow issue. Because why would 2 nights in a hotel make a difference to him?
That's true.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, is $1,000 a night 2,000? If I'm a billionaire, 2,000 a night
shouldn't be nothing.
Is not going to make a huge difference.
He's talking about pennies on the dollar.
Come on, man. Come on. It's got to be money.
Well, that's what that whole Deutsche Bank thing.
That's going to be a problem. And Deutsche Bank can't hold out much longer.
Especially since I think what was it however the whole Congress thing with I'm not Congress, the Supreme Court judge that retired has some connection with the Deutsche Bank thing. I think his son is a part of it. So somehow they got that.
Oh yeah, everything's relationships.
Thing worked out.
Everything's relationships.
You sit down, we take care of this. We bring somebody in.
Yes, sir. Everything's relationships. Everything. Well, you saw it in that movie called The Family, right? Relationship driven like nobody's business.
Absolutely.
And I get it because I think relationships drive every organization.
Yep, they do. They do. And my problem is this, is when those relationships benefit the few but hurt everybody else out.
There's a problem.
And that's what it looks like. It's like, okay, we got this little clique. We're going to take care of us and almost the heck with everybody else. And then have us fighting with each other over the bigger thing.
Here's a weird example. The guy that played for the Patriots, who used to be a gang member, who was paying for the safe houses and basically
Hernandez.
Hernandez. He was an income stream for the gang. Now, if I'm running the gang, I'm gonna protect that dude like nobody's business.
Who you telling?
He's not going out on no hits. He's not being in a position to get arrested because if he gets upset, that stream goes away.
Yep.
That makes perfect sense to me. But you got these guys who, at all costs, get an advantage, and the heck with the consequences.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. Back in the day, it's like, yo, you the head guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the fall for you.
Man.
I'll do 2 years.
Man.
You put some money aside for me.
You know I'm going to take care of you.
Yeah, I got you. I'm going to cover you. We're going to come out. We're going to be good.
You'll be fine. We have a party for you. Here's your money.
Right. Yeah. And protect you while you're in prison,
Absolutely.
too.
Don't touch him.
Nope.
I don't get these new criminals.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's very well.
These new criminals.
But it's true. Even on the streets, they'll tell you.
These new criminals.
Bloods are fighting Bloods. Crips are fighting Crips. Where before it was.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Now it's like the old West. We all just.
Nobody's sitting down and saying, "Hold it, y'all. This is not good for business."
Yep.
First off, it's too much publicity.
Mm-hmm. But what was that movie where the somebody from the mob talked about that the reason why they all came together. And they said the reason why all y'all criminals and all these different sectors, y'all fall apart is because y'all fighting each other instead of coming together. That's the whole 5 families is all about. Let's create
let's divide it up.
Yeah.
And let's stop all this killing. We're getting too much attention.
There you go. And go back unseen. How do you think the mob lasted this long?
Bodies are not good for longevity. Mm-hmm. It's just...
We know you can tell we love gangster movies, man.
I know until he put on that chinchilla coat that he was new.
Right. That's right. In American Gangster, they talked about that. That's where they talked about it.
They didn't know who he was.
He was under the radar until he
just chill.
Listening to somebody else, trying to please somebody else with a coat.
Yep. Just chill.
And the thing that got me is when he put the coat on, it looked out of place where he was.
It did, yep. It didn't look like him.
So the businessman that he was, he switched him to look like a pimp.
Yep.
And it automatically says illegal.
Automatically.
If he had gone in his regular suit. Now, the only other problem that he had was his seat.
Yeah.
That's the only other problem.
Yeah, he was in front of the mob. Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know.
Like, how did he get that?
How he get the front row seat?
Yeah, over the mob, yeah.
I remember, it's funny. It's not even like what we're talking about. So I go to Dorothy Heights' funeral.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I go to Dorothy Heights' funeral. So, of course, my lobbyist got me a seat.
Yeah.
So, I'm on the second row, Dorothy Heights' funeral, on the end. So, true story, Don King and Jesse Jackson walk in. Jackson looks me in the face, immediately gets an attitude.
Okay.
Because his seat is on the third row on the end. Don King is 2 rows behind me. He hot. I hear him say, "Who is that guy?"
Jeez.
I'm like, I turned to Glenn Staples. I said, "You done got me in some trouble."
Right.
It was crazy. A seat.
Right, yeah.
So Jesse didn't sit down until they brought him a chair that was equal with the row I was on.
Wow.
I'm telling you what I know.
What?
They brought him a chair, sat him in the aisle. It was right here. Then he calmed down. Don King never calmed down. He was back there, had the thing going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know he crazy anyway.
I turn around. Yo,
You can't.
I start rubbing stuff in.
You know.
Good to see you.
All right.
Happened.
Yeah.
CC was up singing. These guys were trying to get the seats changed. Mayor of one of the cities walked in. Who's this guy? Like,
It wasn't right.
Yeah.
seats.
Yeah, seats. But you know that's important, especially, you know.
I didn't ask for the seat.
I know.
My reps got me the seat.
Yeah. But we can even see it here. A service. I had a pastor walk up to me during the middle service. Now, you know, you come in late during the middle of our service.
You need to sit down somewhere.
Thank you. And ask, where's my seat at? I'm like, right here. I'm like, he came in expecting, like, yo, where am I sit at, Doc? Right there.
Yeah.
You are not up front. No, we full up front. Come to service on time. If you want to sit up front, don't come an hour late into the service.
Look.
Sorry. And we're not going to move our people to give you a spot.
No.
Sit your behind.
Yeah, find a seat.
Yeah.
2 Sundays ago that happened.
Okay.
Guy walks up, service going on.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Doc, where you want me to sit?
Yeah.
You better find something back here.
Right.
What you mean, where I want you to sit?
Right. Thank you.
There's something back.
Right.
Man, come on.
And Jesus says.
You got to be really thinking about yourself a
You
lot.
do. That's what I'm saying. You do.
You got to be thinking about yourself a whole lot.
Yep. And this is what they get. They get, Jesus said, if you come up to the front on your own and you get asked to sit in the back and because somebody else comes in, then you look like the fool because you forced your way up front and got pushed into the back.
The old pastors used to say it's better to be invited up than to be invited down.
There you go.
That's what they used to say.
There you go.
That's what the old pastors used to say.
That's what it is.
Come in barking, talking about where my seat.
Yeah.
Sit your behind down, let somebody notice you.
Right. You know. But
if it's that important to you.
Thank you.
So we got $1 trillion deficit in 11 months. How do Republicans feel about that?
That's my thing. It's like
they're not saying anything.
I heard one guy say, well, yeah, we're spending a lot. I don't like it, but he's doing all of the stuff I like.
What other stuff?
What stuff?
I'm tired of hearing about it. It's not affecting working people. What other stuff?
Right. Their whole thing is, with the wall, immigration.
The wall?
I know, Bishop.
Huh?
It makes no sense at all.
So we legislate all this money for defense, and he takes it from defense and gives it to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, a wall that he tried to get somebody to tell him how the wall worked on public TV the other day.
Right.
And the Army general had enough sense to say, you might not want to discuss that. I'm flabbergasted.
Yeah.
So why is it every Republican president that's in office sends the deficit through the roof?
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be the budget conscious, fiscally frugal party.
Well, like last week, their proper hermeneutics when they're out of office. They eisegete that text when they in. They proof text like nobody's business. They take it full out of context. That's my problem with them.
Yeah, man.
But again, you would think that they would learn the tax cuts. They did it with Reagan, but all of them does not help long term. But again, if you're there to kind of hook your people up, do you really care?
No, you don't.
With the outcome,
you don't. All you worry about is personal benefit.
Yeah, because you got money after this.
The heck with the rest of the country.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Romney said it, and I think he said it so the national consciousness could hear it. He said, "I will not be everyone's president."
Yep.
He said it.
Mm-hmm.
We forget he said it.
He said it.
I don't think he was only speaking his own ideology. I think he was speaking a general consensus of ideologies in his party.
Yeah.
We're not everybody's president.
Yep.
So we've got now a president who is not everyone's president, but this one doesn't mind lying to you and telling you that he is.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. It makes you miss Bush. It does to a certain degree.
Your thing's got to be bad to miss Bush.
Yeah, Bush came across as pretty
dumb.
Don't make words, Bishop. That's how you feel.
Aloof.
Incompetent. Just
detached from intelligence. That's what that's what he came across as.
Yeah.
He's not a dumb man.
He's not.
But when he presents himself,
yeah.
he tended to shadow or cover his real intelligence, because you can't get where he got.
Yeah.
Being stupid.
Yeah.
He just was not articulate.
Right. A lot of people that know him close, they say he has a strong emotional intelligence.
Absolutely.
So
he works people very well.
Yeah, he works. I mean, he knows.
And
how
the
to
whole
do
thing's relationship driven.
Yep.
So, and I'm not mad at him for having a family legacy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If my dad was the head of CIA, I ought to be able to be somebody.
Right. Absolutely.
Come on.
Hook me up, get me through some
Take
stuff.
care of my boy.
Right. Right.
And
at least I'll say this: at least Bush had a heart.
Yes, sir.
He did some, and this is what some Republicans got on him about, because he created some social programs that they were like, this is not what we're supposed to do. He was actually trying to help people, and I applaud him for that.
I know somebody he helped.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah. $50-some million worth.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Praise the Lord.
I ain't mad at him. Amen.
Yeah.
Brother did a lot of good stuff with it.
He did.
So you can talk about him. He may not be able to pronounce nuclear.
Yeah.
But I think in a lot of things his heart was in the right place.
Yeah.
But he was a politician.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I get that.
Yeah.
Why is it that people don't miss the scandalous free Obamas?
Oh, we all do.
I miss him.
A lot of us do. He's still so popular anywhere he shows up.
It's amazing.
It's just, it's wild. I think if he was able to run this next one, he would win.
Well, here's the thing.
If he was able to, he would win.
When you think stereotypically of a dignified president, an African American president doesn't come to your mind.
Right.
But he has epitomized picture of family, integrity. I mean, you go down the list of things that are supposedly characteristics of the leader of the free world.
Yeah.
And these are the things you're looking at. And this man, this African American, represented all these things.
Yep.
All the qualities that he represented that people wanted to see in a president have become disposable with this president.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I've said it 1,000 times. I'll probably say it 1,001. If Obama had showed up with 3 baby mamas and 7 or 8 kids, he would have had no moral compass.
None at all. He wouldn't even made it through the primaries.
Come on, man.
And this is where that's the hypocrisy of what was it? Focus on the Family with Dobson. All them were all,
what happened to him?
people.
What happened to him?
Then all of a sudden it's like,
what happened to him?
Yeah, like you compromised yourself but again, it shows their thought. As long as he's willing to do.
I'm really perturbed at the ones who built their ministries and their wealth on the belief and the faith of minority people who have now decided, since they're now being recognized or accepted by their own people, that they can abandon the people that made them who they are.
Yep.
I'm really upset about that. I believe our hearts were in the right place.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this thing has rippled through the body of Christ. The Faith Boys had a big controversy. I still have one.
Yeah.
It just I think God had to reveal it. That's what I think.
Yeah,
happened.
he did. Yeah, and this showed a lot.
Yeah, but it shows the insidiousness or the evilness of deception.
Yep.
In the sense that okay, I'm going to hang with you all until somebody accepts me for who I am. And I get wanting to be accepted by your own folk. I get that. I don't think anything's wrong with that. But does it have to be this or that?
Right.
Do you suddenly have to appear to be a couple of the people that we know that have been here look like frauds right now?
Absolutely.
As it relates to their relationship with people of colors other than theirs.
Yep.
They appear to be frauds.
Yep. Yeah, and they're entrenched in their own thing now. And now they're I saw a clip of Paula White talking about this, all the stuff on Trump is spiritual warfare now, and she was going off. We're going to pray against all. I'm like, this is not spiritual warfare. Your president is doing all this.
She lost her mind. I know her. I thought I knew her. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. And like you said, I get it some. I went to a majority white elementary school.
Did you?
Yes. That's where that other side of me kicks in.
Oh,
so
now that explains a whole lot.
And my best friends growing up were white for the most part. So we were really, we were cool.
I get it now.
And
so now that you're now the executive pastor and you're hanging out with the guys in Texas, it's a comfortable fit for you.
Right? The music.
I got it.
If I showed you my iPod, I got a mixture of
you
music.
Sure do. I got it.
Mixture of music.
I got it. And
I'm not as bad as her.
You're encouraging Reverend Prescott. You're encouraging Reverend Prescott. Look.
All right. I'm not as bad as Beth and Sarah,
Crystal and Sarah. but that's good.
Right. Once I got to junior high, and more neighborhoods came to one school.
That must have been culture shock for you.
It was like, of course I went to a black church, so it was like, but at school it was one thing.
Yeah,
come here was
the majority of exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went to school and I was like, yo, and the black kids started kind of connecting more.
Yeah.
So I get it, but it didn't exclude me.
Yeah.
I didn't forget about my white friends that I went to elementary school with.
Absolutely not.
I still hung out with them.
Absolutely.
Got to know a new crowd of people.
Absolutely.
You can do both.
It wasn't this or that.
Right.
I get it. I went to a white boarding school.
Yeah, you understand?
6 black kids, 660 students, 6 black kids, junior and senior high school.
Yeah.
And it was boarding. It wasn't going home every day. So, there was some transitional issues.
Yeah.
come straight out of the hood,
Right.
go to boarding school,
Right.
you know. But fortunately, my mother had raised us,
Yeah.
you know, intercontinental, internationally.
Right, with some sense, yeah.
Yeah, she teacher, so
Mm-hmm.
foreign students come, couldn't read, couldn't do math, couldn't speak English. She brought them home on the weekends.
Okay.
And would teach them stuff over the weekends.
Nice. Okay.
Vietnamese kids, Asian kids, you name it,
Yeah.
they were in our house.
Okay.
So we had this international house all the time.
Yeah.
So for us, it was like, oh, well, what's the big deal?
Yeah, it's normal.
And we lived in an integrated neighborhood in West Philly,
Okay.
you know, on an extremely quiet street. So you had it early.
Yeah.
I had 11th, 12th grade, and it significantly changed my trajectory.
Absolutely.
Significantly.
Absolutely.
You know, I can see if I had stayed at Bartram, I may have been on a different trajectory. Now, the one thing I did, I overreacted, and I said, I got to go to an HBCU.
Yeah.
Because I had 2
Need to balance that.
I had 2 years of being 6 among 600.
Right, yeah.
So I said, let me go to an African-American school because I need to reconnect,
Right.
you know, because I saw my brother was there from 6th grade on,
Okay.
and he struggled with his identity as a black person.
Yeah.
You know, I went in like H-Rap Brown, you know,
Yeah.
fighting and
yeah.
planning insurrections and everything else, you know. It was terrible, man.
Did black people teach y'all because you had white friends and stuff?
Well, my language changed.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't change the way I dressed,
Yeah.
but I never was an urban dresser. So I was always conservative. My dad was conservative. So I didn't get, I could fight. So folk didn't, you can't fight. Folk did, well, you can't. We know you're a big sissy. I wouldn't have to. We know you're a big sissy. So folk didn't do things with me that they probably tried with you. Because there was no, you weren't gonna retaliation nothing. I'll harm you.
With a flower dress on and
Yeah, I'll
sandals.
harm with some Roman sandals on and flower dress. I'll harm you.
Never offering conversation to this radio show ever again.
Don't say ever. So, but bringing it all around,
Yeah, right.
people did not tease me because I had a reputation
Yes.
for response. Was that conservative enough?
Okay.
Okay. Now your reputation not one of response. I didn't give attitude. I just knocked you out. You'll give a whole lot of attitude, but ain't got nothing behind it.
Crystal, you never been in a fight before?
Sure I have.
With her covers,
That's not true.
You fight with her blankets just to...
your sisters and them don't count.
And I ain't talking.
Your
Yeah,
brothers and them
I
don't
have a
count.
fight with my sister.
She ain't had no real fight.
Okay.
She ain't had no real fight. No, I'm trying to tell you, she ain't had no real fight.
I did.
One.
Yeah, that's all it took.
Oh, you said everybody in
My mom
order?
beat up the bully. My mom made me fight the bully.
Oh.
And when I fought the bully and won,
People left you alone?
Yes.
Okay.
What did the bully look like?
She
Oh,
was
Jesus.
a butch.
She was a girl? She was a girl?
She was a butch girl, yes.
Okay. And you had to fight her?
Yes, I did.
Lord.
And the girls left you alone? Yep.
The girls was supposed to fight boys?
Yes!
Boys didn't come at me, so I didn't have a reason to fight boys. Girls, on the
They
other
wouldn't. You had the flower dresses and the Roman sandals on. It was like, don't bother
high
her.
school bishop, I dressed differently back
And
then.
your name was Crystal White, right?
Yes, it was. Was I just laughing at my given name?
It just seems to flow. It seems to flow.
What'd you say, Val?
She said, just stop. Just
I asked the question. I don't even know how it turned to me.
Look, and
Audience,
look,
they don't know what's going on.
and get
All
this,
they
and get
hear
this.
the voice
And
in
I
the
went
background.
to boarding school.
Okay, I've never-
Blazers, ties, the whole 9 yards. About as preppy as you can
All
get.
of that.
About as preppy as you can get. On a farm, milking cows, as far away from West Philly as you can get.
And
It didn't have the effect on me as it did on some people we know.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just, I came out of it,
Mm-hmm.
it helped me.
Yeah.
Went to HBCU, it rounded me out,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it gave you both sides.
Yeah, I had both sides because I was in no danger of losing my street identity. But I needed to be around my people.
Yeah.
to get myself back together.
See, I was the opposite.
Okay.
I didn't want to go to HBCU.
Yeah, okay.
I wanted to be, I grew up in a mixed environment, so I liked that mixed cultural environment. And I just I didn't want to be around a bunch of us. I get your standpoint,
I get
the reason why.
But
I understand yours.
The problem is
I understand yours.
I made an impulsive decision.
Okay.
I don't regret it at all.
Oh, no.
Because the boarding school I went to,
Yeah.
we had almost automatic entrance into the top 4 or 5 Ivy League schools in the country.
Okay.
Because our curriculum was so tough.
Yeah.
And the report card thing was every 6 weeks. And it was, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So it was like going to university before you went to university.
Right.
But my reaction was immature.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, at the time, a Lincoln resume was well recognized. Because Lincoln was called the Black Princeton. But I would have to say that a Harvard or Yale resume, diploma, may have had a little more leverage than that.
Okay.
But I wasn't thinking about that. I just wasn't.
But if I was in your situation, I would want to flee too. So I kind of get it.
Yeah, but I should have.
I get it.
I should have fled to Lincoln for undergrad and Harvard for
Exactly.
But then God has a way of doing things.
Yeah, he does.
I might not have never gotten here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I might not have never gotten here. So it's just amazing how he works things out.
He guides your steps and.
And what's really weird is that if I had stayed in banking, I would have been a bond trader, and I'd have been in the building that the 9/11 went down.
Wow.
So he saved my life by
Yeah.
just a whole lot of stuff happened when I got saved.
Yeah.
So I thank God for it.
He really does order your steps, man.
He knows what to do.
He knows how to do it. Yep.
Because I wanted that. I wanted that money.
I know you did.
Oh, I wanted that
I
money.
mean, you've been a good day trader. Man.
Oh my God.
Been up at 5 a.m. every morning watching the little
average
index
bond
and all
trade
that.
deal was like $500,000 commission. An average one. Oh my God.
Woo.
Child. Makes my mouth water just thinking about it. I'm trying to tell you.
Lord have mercy.
It was something, man. Let's see. Shout out Teresa listening from Reston, Virginia.
Yeah, we got.
How you doing, Teresa? Thanks for calling in. Who we got on that she just wanted to say hi?
Reverend Mobley's online talking about her racial experiences too.
What racial experience? Reverend Mobley?
Yeah.
What racial experience?
So she said that because her sister's lighter than her. She's considered
Is that possible?
That's what I said. I was like, really? She was considered the darker of the two.
There's like a % difference.
Right. I'm like, really?
Come on.
So she said I experienced double racism. The whites didn't like me because I was black. The blacks didn't like me because I was too white. So
she still got that going on.
So Becky was in the middle.
She still got that going on.
But we understand because we
get it. I get it. We come from those backgrounds.
Yes.
We have a diverse exposure.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's Becky, right?
Yeah, it's Becky, yeah.
Okay.
Now, I mean, on the color, I counseled a young woman.
Yeah.
And this did break my heart, though. And we joke, for everybody, we joke about
We joke like this all the time,
y'all.
So don't take it serious. Take it somewhere it's not supposed to go.
Yeah.
We've been teasing Crystal about her sandals and her dresses since
95.
And she still can't take it.
Right.
That's why we keep doing it. If she wouldn't react so much, we wouldn't get such joy out of it.
Just own it. Yes, that is me.
I never disown it, y'all. Keep at it.
Flower dresses. I love those dresses. I thought they were wonderful.
Why, Pastor? I don't want to say you're acting like the president.
They look very cool.
You never liked them.
They look very functional, very cool, and very comfortable.
That is not what you said to me when you described my dress.
I didn't think I had to say all that.
I took the dress
You didn't
home
say them.
and threw it in the trash, and I never wore it again.
You shouldn't have thrown it. You used to look so comfortable when
Facebook, in case you don't know, your pastor being shady.
when you floated in with your Roman sandals on and stuff.
Floated in.
Yes, they used to
The Jesus sandals, yeah.
They had the Jesus sandals on and stuff. You look comfortable.
Whatever, Bishop.
I didn't think you would discard those clothing.
Yes, you did. That was
I
your
know.
total intent.
That was not.
Yes, it was.
We wanted you to embrace.
Yeah, embrace the black side of me. Not
No.
You told me those was,
no, we wanted you to embrace the other side of you.
No, the black side, right?
No, not that side.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to stop. Go ahead now. What we got going on?
Oh, people are just in here talking. They're laughing. We're having a good time.
Yeah, we're having a good time.
This show is like off the rails. It is totally off the rails.
And watch this. And all the shade coming from guys that went to schools.
Yeah.
Where we were in a minority.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. But look, my boarding school education changed my life.
Yeah.
I clearly changed my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Habits that I developed then I still have right now.
Absolutely. My mom made sure.
Worldviews, all that stuff. All that stuff.
Yeah. My mom made sure we didn't have a lot of money, but we grew up in the suburbs because she wanted us in a certain type of environment.
Okay.
So we would go to Philly, we would go to Camp, a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But she's like, a different worldview of life.
I'm glad. I know she's really edified by the fact it worked on you.
Yeah. Right. It's just different.
I know, man.
Yeah.
I know, man.
I just, know.
My mother had a strategy.
Yeah.
You getting out of here.
Mm-hmm.
This neighborhood's about to consume you.
Yeah.
You getting out of here.
And the other thing,
and we lived on a good street.
That's what I'm saying. The other thing, too, is like, this is where my issue, you bring this up, this is my issue with a lot of people who blame all of the trouble of the inner city on the government and stuff.
Yeah.
Back in the day, even though black folk were poor, they still took care of their neighborhoods.
Absolutely.
There was a certain pride. We were broke, but we took care of.
Absolutely.
I saw a picture of Philly back in the day where people were living in houses. You can tell they did not have a lot of money, but every Saturday sweeping up the front.
Absolutely.
Clean.
Absolutely.
So don't just blame poverty on the reason why you throwing trash on the street.
What we found was when we lived in the projects, it was the lawn that was not manicured that was the rare thing.
Yep.
Now we in the hood. We had rose bushes in our yard.
Okay.
My grandfather, now that I see it, he had a garden, and the mulch part was in the form of a cross, and it was rose bushes all in that, and everything was edged up, and this is the project house.
Yeah.
My grandmother kept it spectacularly clean, and most of her friends were the same thing. You had a friend, they weren't as tidy, and they stood out in the hood.
Yeah.
So when we lived in West Philly, Angora Terrace it looked like a postcard. But what happened, my mother saw the neighborhood start to come and encroach.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, we got a problem. And next thing she knows, she got us further out into the suburbs.
Yeah.
But it was a wonderful neighborhood. One police call in 16 years, maybe 18, 20 years, one call. And the call was domestic disturbance.
Okay.
So they came, the police was like, we wasn't sure it was the right street.
Yeah.
They never got a call on the street.
Okay.
And it was an integrated neighborhood of poor people.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's possible.
Yes, sir.
So
I think that, you can't blame other people for you throwing trash out your front door.
Yeah. Nobody forced you to do that.
Nobody from the other neighborhood is coming in and painting the walls.
Yeah. And I get poverty and oppression can create a mindset.
And we never had a drug dealer on our block.
Okay.
Never. You didn't want to try it.
Okay.
You didn't want to try it.
Yeah.
Especially when we lived in the projects. You did not
want to try it.
They had drug-free streets without legal proclamations. You don't want to come down here. Them folk in those houses right along there.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to respect that.
Oh, yeah. Plus they carried pistols.
Yeah.
And they come out and talk to you. Robin's on the phone. Let's see. Put on the clock this morning. Robin!
Good morning, Bishop and Pastor Nick.
Hello.
I'm just laughing at y'all. Y'all really acting up this morning. Y'all really being army. And Sister Gaines, I got your back. They better leave you alone. But how's everyone this morning?
Everybody doing good.
Good. Just have a quick comment. Well, regarding what y'all was just talking about, being bullied, I had to fight too, and just being with a single parent, my mom, she never was able, to teach me how to fight. I had to learn on my own. But I handle myself. So being bullied is no joke. So Sister Gaines, I got your back. I understand where you're coming from.
You know, and you know what's really weird? I think bullying has a different definition, Dan, now than it did back when we came through. It was like back then. It was like you got picked on. They were knocking your books out your hand, pushing you around, locking you in the locker. For the girls was pulling their hair. Yeah. That was bullying. Now we don't want you to be a friend of ours in our group, and I'm being bullied.
Right? Yeah. You talked about me online. I mean, you dealt with a real life bully. Somebody talking online.
There was usually something physical in the bullying that we had. They beat you up, you know, and you were not in an abnormal situation, Crystal. My grandmother, if you lost, my grandmother would stand in the back door and say, "It's them or me." Yeah. And you had some motivation to go out there
you better take
and whip some tail. Yeah. She said, "I don't care if you got to take off your shoe. You better win this fight."
Right. Yep.
And I had to fight boys. Boys was picking on
absolutely. My mom was known for kicking boys behind. Known. When her brothers got in trouble, they didn't send for their brothers. Go get Betty.
Yep. Yeah.
And my mother would go in there and wait in there, and the 2 against 4 wouldn't be enough. Girlfriend could rumble in the jungle.
Wow.
She's all demure walking around the church. Don't let that fool you. Don't let that fool you. Mother, don't let that fool you. I don't know. A football fan, you, Robin?
Yes, I love the Eagles. Oh, yes. Me and I'm finally taking Tamara to a game in November when they play Chicago. She's basketball, but I'm football all the way. But I just have a question.
Well, here we go.
What's going on with all the injuries? And I saw that what's his name got released from the
Antonio Brown,
the one who left the Raiders.
I knew that was going to happen. Yeah. It was too much drama.
If he would
have enough scandal right now.
Yeah, if he would
involving women.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they got enough.
If Antonio Brown would have just got there, and when those accusations came out, did nothing, he might have still been on that team.
What did he do?
He started texting the accuser and stuff like that.
No, he didn't.
If you went and talked to Kraft and them, said, "How should I manage this?" and
Kraft would be able to tell him out.
Right, exactly. What do I need to do? They probably would have said,
just saying.
Yeah. They probably would say, "Look, let's sit out for a couple games, till we work this thing out, and you'll still be on the team."
Yeah.
But he's a head case, so he starts.
So what's he gonna do now?
I think he might be finished.
Because they don't like crossing Kraft.
No.
Other owners tend to, be with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they disagree, they work it out.
And I'm sure when he got in trouble, those owners started using their leverage and relationships with the federal government.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That thing started going away.
Doc.
You don't hear about it no more.
Yeah, he got something coming up soon, but they're going to manage the outcome.
Oh, yeah.
You hear me?
Absolutely.
I heard did his new girlfriend leave him?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because he got one awful quick.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of all that.
Yeah.
That money overcomes
answers
all things.
Right, yep. Right.
Y'all funny.
All right, Robin. See you tomorrow, girl.
And Bishop and Pastor Nick, I want to thank y'all for the disciple classes. I've learned a lot. I mean, truly, I've learned a lot more than I've learned when I was in other churches. And I want to thank you for all the teaching and the knowledge. I mean, y'all really, you take time putting things on Facebook to keep us, going. And I really appreciate that. And I just love y'all for that. And thank you for everything that y'all do.
Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow, right?
All right. No, I'm on my way to class, but I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Take it easy now.
All right.
Bye-bye. 1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. Live every Saturday, 9 to 10 a.m. with Reverend Nicholas Smith and Bishop David G. Evans. We're so glad you joined us today. I want you to get ready for a brand new streaming network called Global Star Media. It'll be globalstarmedia.com. It is actually one of those networks where you can put your kids in front of the TV and walk out the room and be sure that everything they're viewing is going to be fine.
Yeah, it's hard now.
And the subscription is only $2.93 a month.
It's cool.
Programming, sitcoms, animated, you name it, all of that. We went to the launch in Atlanta on on Thursday. And I believe that it's something that if you're concerned about what your kids are watching, kind of stuff you're seeing, you'll be happy with globalstarmedia.com. So I encourage you to go check it out. And $2.93, I don't know how you can beat it.
That's not bad.
You know, it's pretty wonderful.
Yeah.
Let me see. We got Danny on line 3. We got somebody on line 4, somebody on line 1. Hey, Dan.
Good morning, Bishop. How you doing?
How you doing, big guy?
Morning. Pretty good. How's everyone doing there?
All right. How y'all doing down there? All right?
Yeah, we're hanging in. We had it's been a kind of a windy week. We had a couple of storms that came kind of close, but then they turned a different direction.
Okay.
But we're doing well.
Wonderful.
Continuing praying for the people in the Bahamas there.
Glad to hear.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on something that you were giving your early experiences growing up here in Florida in the South. Is that it was a slightly different experience, you know,
I'm
being
sure.
educated and what have you.
Sure.
We had a school where everyone, the staff, the teachers, they cared about education, that you being educated.
Mm-hmm.
And their goal is that when you leave here, that you represent this school, you represent yourself, and most of all, you represent your family.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you did anything, they would tell you, whose family are you? What's your family name?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why they kept asking that, because they put emphasis on you're representing your family,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't disgrace your family, you don't disgrace your neighborhood, you don't disgrace this school, and don't be an embarrassment when you leave. And I didn't realize how poor we were until after I had the experience of going out of the neighborhood or the county that I lived in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw that, you know, we were, poor, if you say it.
Sure.
But we all had respect for each other. There was always the neighborhood person that would go to school
Mm-hmm.
and bring a herd of kids back with them
Mm-hmm.
and made sure that they were protected. And nobody did anything to hurt anybody or anything like that.
Different time, wasn't it?
Different time. But just to get off the subject a little bit, when was the last time that we had a news conference where the president himself actually stood in front of the nation and answered questions?
You know what? I don't remember.
This is what I'm saying. And if you force the issue on that, I think that you'll be able to get somewhere as to see exactly where we are and what's actually going on, to answer a question directly. You don't have that.
Well, you don't get direct answers anymore. Yeah, that doesn't happen now.
That's one thing. Trump, with all his issues, he knows, marketing.
Yes.
And he knows social media is the tool, not standing up and talking on the video. That's why he uses Twitter so much.
Let me throw this out to you. I don't think he's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's instinctive.
Okay.
I don't think his stuff is scripted for him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's reacting in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people think he's thinking of this stuff ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
You know why I think that? Because he contradicts himself so much.
Yeah.
But he's got this thing where whatever he says at the moment is truth for the moment.
Yeah.
Regardless of how crazy it makes him look later on.
Yeah.
So it just sometimes I think he's just reacting.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's reacting in that medium. And because you look at Twitter, people contradict themselves all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that social media piece just
it's tailor-made for him.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay, be blessed.
Tell my sister I said hey.
We'll do, Bishop.
Bye-bye. Let's go to Jonathan on line 1. Hello, Jonathan. How are you? Welcome to OnPointe.
Good morning. The big thing for me is what God has been laying on my heart is in 10 years. 10 years is when the big earthquake, Revelation 7, 13, 14, along in that.
Mm-hmm.
It take a long time to explain. I'm going to have to start to try to set up like teaching seminars.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it on YouTube, but maybe different churches instead of, in the break, in the afternoon, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing after lunch. So that's the big thing for me this week.
10 years, huh?
10 years. Yeah. 3 years is the, I guess, beginning of Revelation 7.
Okay.
The people in the alders, under the altar, the people with white robes,
Okay.
So that's who are these? They've come through great tribulation.
Okay.
So that's pretty bad itself.
Mm-hmm.
But we're in it.
Well, we're in one thing for certain. We're in the last days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I believe that began the day that Christ was manifested in the flesh on the earth. The last days began.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Bless you.
Talk to you soon. Hope to see you soon.
Right.
Bye-bye. Paul, Mount Laurel, how you doing?
Hey, good, Bishop. How are you today?
Trying to make it, man.
Radio.
Welcome to On Point.
Thank you. Sir, Pastor Nick, how are you today?
Good morning. How you doing? Yeah.
I want to say I go to your, and you know me, I go to your Monday afternoon session.
Mm-hmm.
And about a month ago, you were talking about financial increases, and you touched me on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember that. And unbeknownst to me, a week later, some things were going on at my job behind the scenes. I just found out today or yesterday that things are moving in a very positive direction.
Wonderful.
Amen.
You prophesied over my life.
Wonderful.
I just want to let you know that.
Wonderful, man.
Yeah.
They don't call you flood for a reason. It's going to come in like a flood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was the day that you talked about that special Bible being named after me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Be blessed here.
That's your brother.
All right, be blessed.
Talk to you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Anything on Facebook?
We're talking about people still chiming on where they're from. We got people from Mississippi,
Okay.
Tennessee, California.
Go ahead.
Texas. I think I saw another one in between all the joke posts and stuff. Louisiana, a couple other places around the world. So yeah,
cool. Just want to know where people are.
Yeah.
And if you weren't listening or watching us earlier, we're just trying to get a geographic beat on you today. If you could hit us up on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, at David G. Evans 1, and let us know what part of the world you are watching or listening from. Now we're going down in Wilmington tomorrow. I want to thank the church for going with us in such fine numbers on Wednesday. Music ministry did an incredible job Wednesday night. It was just wonderful. Elder Hunter was in rare form. And the choir was in absolutely spectacular form. And God blessed with his word. And we were talking to Bishop Howard afterwards and teasing back and forth. I told him, tell the rest of his guests there's no need to come.
Right.
Ain't nothing left.
Right.
So they said, I thought you said you're going to get saved while you were preaching. So,
that was while you was preaching. That was in the moment.
Yeah, but we had a great time Wednesday.
That's good.
So we didn't see the video.
We can show it next week,
Okay.
It's brought up,
Because I've heard once already that it's quite riveting.
It is. Very much.
And that it makes you think they're headed in one direction. Completely turns.
Turns you. Yep.
I have to admit that I've never prayed or meditated more about my grandchildren going to school. I mean, I don't remember when we were. The worst thing we had going on was there might be a fight after school. You dared not fight in school. Because that meant a parental response. And a parental response was actually worse than getting arrested by the police. You would want the police to come get you. You know, because I don't know how your family was, but mine would walk.
I get arrested.
Mine walk in the classroom and begin the conversation in front of everybody.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm down here for so and so.
You better not get caught out of work.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's a different world.
You know.
Yeah.
I think we didn't get in a lot of trouble because we premeditated the response. Because the girlfriend had to come from work. It was going to be a rough night in Jericho.
Right. You stay at school.
Grandma, please come get me.
Right.
This has been On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. I want to thank our wonderful, intergalactically experienced staff for doing such an amazing job this morning. Praise God for them. Also, Reverend Nicholas Smith, our world-famous co-host. I'm Bishop David G. Evans. Why don't you join us tomorrow here at Bethany Church in Lindenwold, New Jersey, 8 and 11 a.m. And if you're anywhere near Wilmington, Delaware, will be at Victorious
Christian Center?
Victorious Praise Christian Center.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Pastor Lou said Smith in Wilmington, Delaware, tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Now remember this, faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so, that it might be so. God bless you. See you next time on On Point.